Okay, here we are with the 4-4 work together. So this one's going to be have a lot less involved with it than the 4-1, 2, and 3. So in this one, we're going to correct some mistakes that were discovered in previous journals. And then we're going to fix some mistakes in a ledger. We're going to identify some mistakes and list the correct changes in this bottom section. So before I get started, I just want to mention again, please, make sure you push the subscribe button below. Hopefully, leave some positive feedback on whether the videos are helpful or not. So hopefully they are. So let's get started here. We've got our entries, our list of our entries that need corrected. So it says, journalize each correcting entry discovered during December of the current year. Use page 21 of the journal. So here we have listed the discoveries of the entries and our journal. So it's already marked page 21. So on December 1st, it was discovered that a transaction for supplies bought last month was journalized and posted in error as a debit to prepaid insurance instead of supplies. So we're going to need to fix two things with this one. So two accounts are involved here: supplies and prepaid insurance. So let's go ahead and get this transaction posted properly for supplies. So we'll put the date that it was discovered here, December 1st. So we're going to get this posted to the proper account, supplies. So we'll put supplies here. And our doc number is M15, memo 15, so M15. So it says in the instructions that it was journalized and posted in error as a debit to prepaid insurance instead of supplies. So basically indicating that it needs to be posted as a debit to supplies. So we'll put that in here, $75. Okay, so now second step is, since it was posted as a debit to prepaid insurance, we need to reverse that. So we'll put in here prepaid insurance. So originally it was entered as a debit for prepaid insurance, so it was shown as an increase to the account when there wasn't one. So now we've got to repost that as a decrease to the account to get the prepaid insurance back down to where it was. So that means we're going to post that as a credit to prepaid insurance, because that'll decrease the value of that prepaid insurance account. So now we have the next one. It's again December 1st. Discovered that a transaction for rent expense last month was journalized and posted in error as a debit to repair expense instead of rent expense. So we basically have to do the same thing. So the first, and then we're going to fix the rent expense account first to make sure the rent expense account gets properly posted. So memo 16, M16. So that rent expense, $900 in debit, because it was posted in error as debit to rent to repair, so that means we need to post it as a debit to rent. And then we need to reverse that original posting to the repair expense. And bring that account back up to where it was. Remember, the expense accounts are in the owner's equity, which is on the opposite side of the equal sign of the accounting equation from supplies, and insurance, which are assets. So there's the journal. So on paper, we just fixed our record keeping. So now we've got our next step down here. It was also discovered that 2 posting errors were made in the owner's drawing account. The November 15th entry amount should have been $540. The November 30th entry included a debit to the drawing account for $400 that was posted in error as a credit. Determine what amount should be entered in each lettered cell. So we have our lettered boxes down here that are going to match up with the cells here. So we just need to re-enter what amounts should be in these cells. So let's start at the beginning here. November 15th, an entry should have been $540. So we can see here on November 15th, the entry was $450. So that means we need to change that to $540. It says here it should be $540. So in box A, that's going to be $540. On the credit, that's still going to stay blank. So now that's going to change the account balance for drawing. So box C should now be the current balance of $540. So this should be $540, and this should be $540. Okay, so now November 30th entry included a debit to the drawing account for $400 that was posted in error as credit. So basically on the 30th, the $400 that's in credit should be in the debit column. So that means E should be $400. So since we're going to move this $400 from credit to debit, that's going to leave F is now going to be blank. So now we're going to have a new balance. So we've got to update our balance after we make this change. So we have $400 here in E, and that's a debit. So in our balance after we fixed the previous error is $540. So we're going to add those. So 540 plus the $400 makes that new balance in G, because here they subtracted. So now we're going to add. And G is going to make that $940. So that is the 4-4 work together.